The bumpers I had re-chromed from Keystone Automotive. They did a great job, very reasonable price. Triple chrome, they're beautiful, and couldn't be happier how they came out. Very fair company to deal with, great service. Let's see. Like I said, it was originally a vinyl top car. I had, if you saw the other video, I had to replace the roof, and I had a really hard time finding parts for this car initially, and then of course after I finished the roof, I found a donor roof less than 20 minutes away, but oh well, if you don't do anything, you're never getting anything done. So on the fenders, I did some customization there. The 68s had really big reflectors here. I shaved these fenders. And the other thing too is along here there was a pretty decent sized molding all the way down, which I filled those in, just wire feed, filled them in and got rid of them, shaved that. And this Futura badge used to be on the rear quarter on 68, but I think 68.6 had them up front, and I really liked the way it looked, so I moved those up front. On the rear fender, same thing, had the big reflectors. I shaved all that and cleaned it up. This cap I had made just because I had the original, but I seem to drop it every time I go to the gas station for some reason. This one I don't drop, of course, but the other one that's painted I did, so inevitably it got chipped. This is the original sports coupe. I think they make repos of these, but long story short, I kept mine but replaced the reflector badge here, or this badge inside, and I think it came out pretty decent. They were in good enough shape to salvage, and all the stainless pieces were original. Took everything off, rebuilt the vent window, and basically polished all the stainless moldings on there. Did what I could do to clean them up. Let's see. Yeah, so this is all the Futura badging. I was able to find this guy, brand new old stock on eBay. It was a bargain. It's getting harder and harder to find stuff like that though. This is the kind of look of the dual exhaust on this with the tips down. I thought it looked pretty good. And so my battery is in the trunk now. So I don't have an ignition key for this car anymore. It's just push button start. So get my power on. This is a stereo, it's a Sony, and I put a little booster on it, amp. It works pretty well. This is nice because it's compatible. It's actually got a connection for an iPhone. It comes with software, which I'll show you in the front of the car. So you can control your radio for up front. It works pretty well. I don't know, something different than basically, you know, it's for the dollar. I think this was under $200 for the whole setup, so it worked really well. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So let's see, I'm going to open up the engine compartment first, so kind of go over a couple things on that before I start it. Show you the inside. Oops, it's hard to do while I'm holding on. Okay. So this is a 347. This motor is a solid lifter motor, AFR heads. It makes about 468 horsepower. It's around 450 for torque. It's very light car, so it goes very well. Some things that I would have done differently if I had a crystal ball. This Ford stock setup here, if I had changed the front calipers to a better caliper and gone to manual drums, this car's not very heavy, or manual discs, excuse me. Yeah, manual discs upgraded to maybe like a 4-piston. It would have been way better spatially in here. This is my reservoir for my hydraulic clutch. If you look at the video, there's a lot of pictures on the video of modern driveline setup on there. Those guys are great to deal with. They help me out a lot on a lot of things. So great resource, especially on the Falcon department. the hydraulic clutch assembly. This was actually the first prototype for that hydraulic setup for Fairlane, Torino, and Falcon. So it works great. So 347, let's see, electric fan. Oh, this is a cross member I fabricated to tie in our shock towers. What I did is I took a piece of PVC 5/4 trim board and basically mocked it up. So I had the right geometry. It kind of a little gaudy as far as the size of it, but it works really well. It ties those shock towers in and locks them right in, and keeps the structure sound. This is actually my oil pressure, and what I did is I put it over here just because with the power steering setup, power brakes rather, excuse me, there's not a lot of room, especially with the mechanical, with the larger flow mechanical fuel pump. So I mounted a remote here, just creates a lot more room for you. I definitely would recommend doing that if you're trying to save space. Solid, like I said, solid lifter motor. In hindsight, that booster would have been a benefit to have out of there, just because setting valve lash on this car, there's not a lot of room. It's about, takes me about an hour and a half to set the lash on this car, and it's tight. So anything to save room in there would be a benefit. It's a mechanical advance on the ignition. Electric fan, 3-core radiator, works really well. I have an electric bypass inside, so if I know I'm coming into traffic, I might just jump on the fan sooner if it's not on by the thermostat, just to stay ahead of creep from heat, because this engine makes a lot of power, and you get in traffic, it's going to get warm. Knock on wood, I've never had it overheat. I don't think it's ever seen over 200 degrees. Usually it runs around 170, 75, somewhere in there. But you get in traffic, stop, it'll definitely get up there for sure. Okay, well, let's do a start up here, I guess. I'll show you the interior. So did some customizations. This car never came with a center console. I kind of like the Mustang setup, so I mimicked or copied that. No, I copied it, yeah. New door panels, they were made custom. I kept the original trim, didn't chrome it though. We live in Vermont. There's really no one that does plating in Vermont. It's most of the stuff has to get sent out. Let's see. These are pro cars. This car was originally a bucket seat car. To have them restored would have cost a lot of money. These are a really good value, and they look right in this car. And you can do it with or without the headrest, so depending, it's your choice. But good fit. It's not a big car, and I like them. They're comfortable, and I had the rear seat upholstered to match. So kind of mimic the pro car look, and new headliner in it too. So other things I did was, those of you that know this car, this had originally a sweeping speedometer, and the heater controls used to be up in this area here, and then you had a long sweep for a speedo. What I did is put regular conventional gauges in there, and then I removed the radio here and made my own controls, an aluminum cover plate, if you will, and then just a manual ignition switch here, and my power for my starters here, and this is my electric fan bypass. And my shifter, I've got a line lock for staging, tachometer obviously with a shift light, and dash pad got redone. That was epic. Not a lot of people in the country that do that, unfortunately, so all I can say is good luck. And let's see, what else? This is the placeholder for my iPhone, and that's where you can put your stereo controls. It works pretty well. there's just a lot of harmonics in this car at certain speeds. So depending on, I tried my best to keep it so you could hear yourself think, but motor makes a lot of power. I spent a lot of time and effort trying to keep the cab quiet and cool, and it's okay. So I guess without anything else, oh, the other thing I did on this car, sorry guys, this column here, this car never came as a floor shift from 66 up. So getting a 4-speed column, this was an automatic car, so what I did was I was able to find a 66 4-speed column out of a I thought it was a Fairlane, but anyway, it fit. But what I had to do is, this has got the collapsible column in 68, so I basically grafted the head of the 66 on, which meant, yeah, my directional signal controls are different, so it created some wiring, but it worked really well, and you wouldn't know, and it looks like a 4-speed column. If you can find a Torino or Fairlane 4-speed car, then you're all set, but they're hard to come by and they're usually pretty pricey, so so I guess it's figure whatever you can get your hands on, if it doesn't bother you to have the automatic. So I don't think there's anything else. I'll just fire it up here and I'll do a walk around with it running, I guess. So ignition's on. These are my directionals, my high beam. Yeah, because I kind of forgot about those. So they work down here just fine. But if you were smarter than me and you were doing this custom thing, you'd probably put them up here like a normal person. But I thought about it too late, but that's all right. It works good there. And pretty happy with how it came out. Well, I guess that's it, guys. So hopefully this video helped some of you that were working on a car like this. If you have any questions, certainly don't hesitate and I can try and help you out. But yeah, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.